Well, to keep the garden healthy, we must do the garden maintenance work, right? To keep the garden healthy, aesthetically pleasing. So these are the two main factors for do garden maintenance and to be livable, of course. So what do we do in garden bed maintenance? We remove the weeds, we take care of the pests, keep the plants in shape by pruning and trimming, and keep them healthy by giving them enough nutrition that they need to survive and the water. So what type of material or what do we need to do it? So we are gonna check about know about that in this video. So first material is comes to mind is mulch. It comes in different colors, it according to need. So what it is actually, it is just grinded wood chips. We like take the logs or whatever like comes from the trees. It could be organic or inorganic. What does it do? It enhances fertility. Only if it is organic, it can enhance the fertility because it will decompose into the soil later on and then it will give nutrition to the plants. So that way it will enhance fertility. It will retain moisture because wood is known to absorb water and keep water retention ability of the wood. So that's why it will keep water absorbed for a longer period of time, because if we water the plants sometimes the water goes deep into the soil and it the roots of the plants are not able to get that water. So wood chips and when we put the mulch, this will keep the water at the ground level, and also it will help the plants to get some more water. So that way it will help retain moisture. It will suppress weeds. How it will suppress weeds? Because it will stop the new seeds or new small weeds to get sunlight. So that way it will stop them from growing, right? And the next thing is it will regulate soil temperature. We all know that water cools down slower than the land. So since the wood chips or the mulch that we put has water in it, it will cool down uh, slower as compared to the soil. So it will keep that temperature maintained even in winters and then opposite in the summer. So it will regulate the soil temperature as well. Improves aesthetics because since it uh, comes in multiple textures, multiple colors, so that's gonna improve the aesthetic of the garden. So that is one more important thing we can do. The next thing we need is fertilizer, of course. We have to check this soil every time we do the garden bed maintenance. Check the pH scale, how much, if the pH, like we have to make it more acidic, more basic according to the plant needs. So that we have to do. And also check for specific nutrition. We have to add fertilizers accordingly. So according to the plants as well, like some fertilizers are uh, fast in like decomposing in the soil. Some are slow, like the absorption is slow for some fertilizers, absorption is fast for some fertilizers. So that we have to keep in mind according to the plants, right? So the first type of uh, fertilizer we can use is nitrogen based. It promotes leafy growth. If the plant is more leafy or it needs like nitrogen, the leaves are dying, it can be uh, seen clearly. The next thing we have to use phosphorus or potassium. These are the three chemical fertilizers we can use, or we can use organic fertilizers as well. We have an option, right? Okay, and then the topsoil. The third thing we need is topsoil. Why we need topsoil? Even though there is a soil, we have added fertilizers. So why do we need topsoil? The first basic need is like we can level the ground. If we need to level the ground, the garden bed is like at the lower level, so it will create root rot if the water collects at that area. So that's not good for the plant, right? So we can use topsoil to do that. But the next most important thing, more than that, is that the topsoil that we bring has fertilizers or the nutrients broken down completely in it. It is ready for absorption for the plants. But the soil that we put the fertilizers onto, it is not absorbed yet. It is not ready to use, ready for the use for the plants. So that's the thing. We can put topsoil and Plants can use that nutrition from the topsoil for the time being, and then later on, the fertilizers that we put will be absorbed as well, and then the plant can go from there, right? That's better. And the next thing is landscaping fabric. What is landscaping fabric? Simply, as the name suggests, fabric that we put on the garden bed in order to suppress the weeds, have the moisture retention better, keep the mulch alive for the longer period of time. Erosion control, of course, we're gonna water the plants, the soil is gonna flow on the side, so that we don't want, right? So we will use the landscaping fabric for that. It is low maintenance, it is cheap if you chose that type of material, and then it elongates the life of the mulch, so that is cost effective, right? How to install it? That's very simple. First, prepare the area, keep the work going, clean all the weeds and debris, level the surface, and as soon as we have put the mulch and the fertilizers and sorry, not the mulch, the fertilizers and everything, the soil is ready. The first layer is the landscaping fabric that we are gonna put onto the soil, the garden bed. So we put it, they lay the fabric, and secure it on the edges by nails or anything that we have, or maybe stones or edges on the edges. Cut the desired areas for the plants, like you can see in the picture on the two left and the center picture, and then cover the fabric with mulch or any decorative material that we want. So that way it will help us getting better plants, having less weeds, and keep our garden more aesthetically pleasing. The next thing is pest control materials. So we also don't want leaves eaten by the pests, like the insects and everything. We don't want fungus to kill our uh, plants. We don't want rodents. We also don't want any type of like anyone killing our plants. So that's what we use. That's why we do pest control. Pesticides can kill pests, like they can keep the birds, insects, and everything away. We can just spray them on the plants after the fertilizers, and this will keep our plants healthy. The next thing is edging, the final touch, right? We have put the landscaping fabric, we have taken care of the plants, we have trimmed, pruned the bushes and the plants. Then after that, the last step should be adding the edging. Edging uh, keeps the garden bed intact, no erosion, and also it protects the plants from, like, if you are mowing the lawn, we don't want to run over the plants. So that's the thing we're gonna do. We can keep that uh, from happening by using edging. Edging comes in multiple materials, like it is rubber edging, plastic edging, metal edging, and each have its benefits and its disadvantages as well. So the most cost effective is rock rocks, as you can see in the picture on the right side, and rubber edging. So it will keep help in keeping the garden well organized and also aesthetically good. So that's the thing we're gonna need. So how do we do garden bed maintenance? As now we know what type of materials we're gonna use. These are the basic materials. Of course, we're gonna need protective gear every time, and we're gonna need multiple materials according subject that's subjective to the lawn we're gonna do. But these are the basic needs we're gonna need for all the lawns, right? So first we have to inspect the lawn, garden bed, of course, for any type of overgrowth. We're gonna trim and prune. We have to plan ahead, right? Soil test and then plant health as well. So we're gonna need a specific fertilizer or not. The second step is trimming and pruning the bushes. We have checked the overgrowth, trim and prune the bushes according to the needs, remove the dead leaves and everything, removing the existing mulch, the landscaping fabric, and dead plants. So we're gonna remove everything that is unwanted there, keep it fresh, check the pH level of the soil, balance it, add fertilizers according to the needs. And then we talked about it adding topsoil, right? Why we added, we know that, right? We will add the topsoil, and then after that, we will create natural edging around the bed. So we keep everything clear where we're gonna add the landscaping fabric and everything. Add a little bit of water so for better absorption. Add pesticides on the existing plants. Do the planting if needed, like dig the holes for the plants we're gonna install later on. And then after that, we have to, if we have to install a plant, we will need add biotoners and fertilizers as well. So what is biotoner? Biotoner is simply just like a fertilizer, but it is more balanced. It has everything that a plant needs in future, not just specific like we use fertilizers, nitrogen based, if there's no nitrogen in the soil, but biotoner is everything. It keeps a balance. It is like food for plant. We add it and then the plant, so the plant may survive, yes. And then as soon as of it is done, we have to lay the landscaping fabric, cut the fabric according to the plants, and then nail it properly or anchor it properly. Then as soon as the landscaping fabric is down, add 2 to 3 inches of mulch. That's subjective, what type of mulch we're gonna use, what should be the color. So yes, we're gonna add the mulch, add the edging, and then sprinkle some water, and then we are done. Add some fertilizers on the top, and then the plants are ready to grow. The garden is good. Thanks for watching the video. That's all we have now for garden maintenance.